When Santa Learned the Gospel, a poem by Simon Camilleri. When Santa learned the Gospel, he first heard it from an elf. This tiny Santa's helper had just learnt of it himself. A child had asked for Christmas to receive a Bible book. This elf had made one in the shop, then paused to have a look. He read all about Jesus and the call to follow him. He learned how Jesus lived and taught and died to pay for sin. He learned how Jesus rose again and how he will return. And then this elf read how he should respond to all he'd learned. He shut the book, put down his tools, then closed his eyes and prayed. Right there and then this little elf trusted in Christ that day. The next day, he told Santa. It was awkward, unprepared. He knew he didn't know that much, but what he knew, he shared. He told Santa the gospel. It was simple, it was short, but a seed was sown in Santa's heart, which grew into a thought. Santa reflected on his life and the message he supported, then compared it to the gospel that the elf had just reported. He'd always thought that everyone was naughty or was nice. He had them all on two big lists. He even checked it twice. He'd always thought that you got gifts only if you'd been good. The naughty kids got lumps of coal. That's what he understood. They'd all line up in shopping malls and sit upon his knee and claim that they were always nice as nice can be. Of course, he saw them when they slept and knew when they awoke. He also knew their nice attempts were pretty much a joke. Their heads were filled not with nice thoughts of kindness, peace and joy, but with the never-ending list of their desired toys. He knew their hearts, but he had thought, they're trying to be good. That's good enough to make the list, otherwise no one would. So every year their good enough with toys would be rewarded. And every year, he realized, this message he supported. The good will get the presents, the bad will get the coal, and trying to be good enough is good enough a goal. That was the message that he knew, but now he knew another. He had just heard the gospel, so he compared them to each other. The message of the gospel turned his message upside down. The good, the bad, naughty and nice, it switched it all around. There's no one good but God alone, he'd heard Jesus concluded, and those who claim they're good enough are simply just deluded. If there's a list of who is good, the standard we've all missed, and Santa saw that even he was on the naughty list. That shook his world, that rocked his boat, that gripped him in his soul, to think that even Santa Claus deserved a lump of coal. But that was only half of what the gospel message said. It also flipped what happened to the naughty on its head. Instead of being written off as just not good enough, the message to the naughty list was one of grace and love. The gospel offered mercy to all those deserving coal. The gospel offered forgiveness and cleansing of your soul. The gospel told how Jesus died our death to pay the price, to reconcile us all to God, both naughty and the nice. This offer was a real gift, unlike presents 'neath the tree. It was not earned by being good. It was offered for free. For all his life, Santa had claimed that if you had been bad, then you would not get presents, and your Christmas would be sad. Santa compared his message with this new one he had learned. His message said you get the presents your good deeds had earned. The message of the gospel offered something so much greater. Jesus had come to reconcile the world to their Creator. When Santa grasped the gospel, he did not know what to do. And so the elf said nervously, how about I pray with you? Then that night at the North Pole, by the fire in his den, with a simple prayer led by an elf, Santa was born again. And now in Christ, forgiven, free, his new life had begun. And Santa had a new message to share with everyone.